A lot of young Muslims have this idea that it is really shallow to improve the characteristics within you that help you to attract women. And I can understand where they're coming from because you obviously don't want to spend your life trying to attract women. But I want you to help me understand what is shallow about trying to attract the best possible mother for your kids. Because that's what you're doing, right? Feminine, smart, caring, nurturing. So if you want that kind of woman, why would you not work on yourself so that sort of woman comes to you? I don't really understand why that's seen as a weak, like a fanboy type of thing. Think about all the men of the older generation. How many of them actively thought, how can I make my future wife as happy as possible? None of them. So now have a look at their relationships. They're all garbage, bro. Like they don't have that romance. That romance dies within the first couple of months because they never thought about what their woman would want to see in him when she's choosing a partner. You got to think about it as a two-way game, right? So, in my opinion, there's nothing more important than improving these couple of qualities that attract women. Not just for the women, but also because when you improve the things that would attract women, you unknowingly become the man that you are meant to be. So it's almost like it's a perfect correlation between what you need to do to become the man and attracting the best quality woman that you can think of. But this video will only work for you if you have the same mindset as me, where you want to attract a feminine, nurturing woman. Like a woman who likes to be dominated, not a woman who will dominate a man. That's very important. So without further ado, these are the top 3 characteristics. You'll never hear this anywhere. But from my experience, like practical experience, I've noticed that these are the most helpful things. The reason you never hear this anywhere else is because you don't really get this advice from people in your age demographic, like in your, like racial, locational demographic. You know what I mean? Like if you're a Muslim man living in the West of my age demographic, not too many people will know exactly what sort of struggles we go through. But I do. And I have a lot of experience with women. So the first one that I'm going to talk about here is probably going to be like something really controversial. A lot of Muslims will probably call me a pussy for it. But you need to understand how to improve your mental health. And when I say mental health, I don't mean you go and you take drugs on depression and you do these like weird cognitive therapies with your brain. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about find a way to be happy just living. I'll tell you how this is going to help. If you go out for a walk right now, what sort of a mannerism do you think will attract the best woman for you? What's going to make the most feminine woman around you look out for you when you walk past? Is it going to be the type where you're going to be like really ADHD minded, where you're looking everywhere and maybe you're walking a little bit fast, when you're not really sure where you're going, when you keep changing your mind, when you're trying to make a billion decisions at once? Or the type of you who's just happy walking around? Just imagine you see me walking around like this. That's going to seem a little bit weird. Not many people are going to want to talk or respond to a man like that. Now imagine I'm walking like this. You see how different it is. So if you rewire your brain to produce positive thoughts 24/7, like when you're just walking around and everything you see is going to generate positive thoughts. For example, if you see a beautiful woman, a lot of people will get anxious and get a little bit jealous or resentful. I don't know. But if you look at a woman and you think, oh, my future wife is going to be like that. My future wife is going to have these traits that I see in her. You know what I mean? Like every time you see something, you got to get some sort of a positive response from it. And women are drawn to this so much. Like if you don't believe me when you're watching this video, I want you to try an experiment. Next time you are in public, wherever you're going, whether you're going to school, uni, go for shops, whatever, I want you to start thinking of positive thoughts and start smiling. Our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he walked with a smile. And this is told to us in Sunnah. He walks with a smile, with an upright posture. So he would have like been walking like as if he was really happy all the time because he was obviously the most purposeful man of all time, right? The reason I'm talking about walking in the first place is purely for example's sake. So if you improve your mental health, you're going to start extrapolating it into all areas of your life. You're going to be happy all the time. And people will look at you, women will look at you and start to respect you for it. So that's really important. You need to get your mental health in check. I made several videos on this topic, so you can check out those videos at the end. Maybe I'll link them below in the description. The second characteristic that you're going to want to adopt is also something you'll never hear from anyone else, but it is the ability to be polarizing. Now, polarizing, it basically just means that someone either really likes you or they really hate you. So if you think about Andrew Tate or even me, we would be considered polarizing because some people will really like us and some people will really hate us. For example, a lot of women watch my videos and they really hate me. I've literally had girls, like Muslim girls in the street, in my workplace, that came up to me and started harassing me because of my videos. But the women who watch my videos and they agree with me, they really like me because nobody else out there is going to be talking about the things that I'm saying here. And I'm not saying all the women who watch me are attracted to me. I'm just giving you an example. Just calm down a bit, okay? The way you do that is firstly by becoming really clear on who you are. The more you dive down into who you truly are, the more extreme your opinions are gonna get. For example, with women, with ideologies, like if you happen to be a communist or something, even if the ideology is stupid, if you are a communist, for example, if you truly believe it, you're still going to be charismatic. How do you think all these people, like from the Soviet Union, like Lenin and Stalin, how do you think they were able to attract so many people? Because even though their ideas were stupid, they truly believed it. So people started following them. Feminine women love this more than anyone else. They love a man who can actually stick to his opinions. The last characteristic that I'm going to talk about is the art of persuasion. Now, persuasion is something that nobody really thinks about as a core skill, right? Everybody thinks they know it, even though nobody really knows how to do it. But it essentially helps you in every area of your life, especially with females. When you are going and you're trying to convince a woman to marry you, the way you are, like your business, your height, your looks, they actually don't matter as much as your persuasive abilities and your ability to talk. You'd be really surprised. Even in businesses, right? Like the best products are sold with the best sales teams. Even if you're the best product on the planet, if I have a crappy product, but I have the best sales team on the planet, I'm going to outsell you. I promise you this. Now, there's so much I can talk about when it comes to persuasion because I work in sales. The core thing you want to know is you want to be detached and you want to act like you are neutral in everything. So, for example, if you don't go up with the idea that I want to convince this person to marry me, you go up and you say, I will see if this person is worth marrying and see if our ideas of relationships actually aligns. So you go and you start asking questions like, well, what is important for you in a partner? Yeah, but why is that important? And then you're like, I really like Arab women, but a lot of them tend to be really masculine. Like if you're talking to an Arab woman, you start using reverse psychology, and she's gonna start getting defensive. Like, I'm actually not masculine. I'm actually really feminine. And unknowingly, she's starting to convince herself and convince you that she's a good woman. All these videos on my channel, they're going to help you develop those 3 characteristics that nobody ever talks about. But it's honestly like a hidden superpower. I actually think that later on, people are going to start adopting these skills a lot more than they are now. So subscribe to my channel if you got any value from this video and comment below your thoughts about any of this.